I'm just going to kind of read some of these. She has 3 questions, and we'll go through that. Is that okay with you guys? And then we'll go from there. Okay,
Yes.
thanks. All right, so the first one, this was from Sherry. Oh, hey, Sherry. We weren't sure if Sherry has, it could be hard, so thank you. All right, that's okay. Can you tell by looking at us what our body type is? I can to some extent, yes. I know I am short, 5'1.5", and not much space between rib and hip, maybe 2 to 3 in, hard to tell. Okay, Sherry, so I can't, if you stand up and show, so let me just share with you real quick. Do you guys want to know a little bit about body types? Body types, okay, people are always interested. Tell me about me. Here's the one thing about body types to know, and that is Teresa went into body typing for one main reason, and that was to let you know that regardless of what body type you are, T-Tapp will work. Because there are lots of different workouts that are really best for specific body types. And if you look at the famous trainers who do those, they have that particular body type. Kind of interesting, isn't it? So you start to kind of get a sense of what does that mean. So you know what, Sherry? Yeah, you look very short torso to me. No, I'm only 4'11". I'm actually shorter than you are, okay? And I am, you can kind of see, I don't have much waist, okay? But can you guys see, so the difference with Sherry and I are, so I'm combo short. So I'm kind of a combo. If you do this, Sherry, I'm just trying to think of another way to show you. So you guys, if you feel when your leg goes out, right where your hip and that leg come. So that's your starting point. And where you want to see is how, if this from here to the middle of your knee is longer than middle of knee to ankle, or are they about the same? Are you longer knee to ankle?
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you are. Oh.
I think I'm a little bit longer, the upper than the lower, but I don't know.
So my guess is, in looking at you, will you turn to the side for me and to the back for me real quick? Beautiful. And turn again so I can see your side for just a second. Okay, perfect. I think that you and I are the same body type, which would be a combo short. Now, the reason, you guys, that I don't think that Sherry is just a pure short torso, let me explain what a pure short torso would be. And I'll look to see as you guys are standing if I see anybody that is. Larger breasted, so you've got that going on for you. The place that you, and then very short and really long legs, okay? Now, a pure short torso typically is wide across the back, but flat tush and super long, gorgeous legs, okay? You and I don't have the flat tush. Yay, I'm glad. I prefer to have a tush than have a flat tush, but we all have what we have. It's all perfect, okay? And larger in here. That's a true short. So Kathy Smith, do you guys know who Kathy Smith is? She's an older, good, the youngins might be like, who's Kathy Smith? Well, in our age, she was gorgeous blonde, and she was a big fitness person way back when, and actually now she's coming out with hers over 60, look how great I look workouts. But Kathy Smith is more of a pure short torso, and her workouts always are really all about what would be great for short torso. I just find that really interesting. So that's what I meant by that. So to answer your question, Sherry, I think you're the same as I am. Now, again, it doesn't matter what you are. T-Tapp will work for all of it. Okay, so that's really the way she said it. If anybody wants to know, so Nan, you're standing. Did you want me to check? You look like a combo. I can't tell you. If you want to talk, you'll have to unmute. So most of us are probably going to be a combo, whether you're a combo leading to long torso or a combo short. Most of us are not pure one or the other. You'll know a pure long torso because, like Teresa, they're really long, Their place of area of concern might be right in here, and they're really short knee to ankle. So if you ever saw Teresa, she was very short knee to ankle. She was longer here and super long here. Okay, so but again, not a lot of pure.
Well, my confusion was that I have only about 3 inches between the bottom of my ribs and my hip.
Right.
I had to get a long torso bathing suit. So I'm longer bodied, short legged, but I just called myself a combo.
Yes, I would say probably long. You're probably a combo leaning to long. 3 inches isn't long. And when you do, isn't a long torso. And when you do it, you want to make sure, like there's a couple different places to check. Like you can check from right under the breast from here and directly on the sides.
Yeah, it seems like there's not much room there. I'm saying like 3 fingers, not even 3 inches.
Right.
So.
Right, me too. So I'm thinking probably, a combo.
Yeah.
And combos, does take a little bit longer to lose weight because so here's another question. When you gain weight, Nan, do you gain weight pretty much all over?
I always was a pear until menopause, and now I'm very much an apple.
Okay,
so.
And thank you for that. So that's what's gonna happen as we get older. Those pears get comboed. It's like, well, great. Now I'm in here, and now it's also in here because we're all going to be in here as we get older. That's the way it goes. But your standard was a pear. So if you were more a pear and you do have a little bit more narrow shoulder, then I would say you probably actually are combo long. Mm-hmm. Combo with a long lean to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cindy, I'm pretty sure you're going to be either a combo short or a short.
I'm 5'8". Now let me do this. Does this help? Holy moly. Oh yeah, there I am.
There you are. I'll just do this.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. I can do this and see.
So I'm 5'7" 3/4. And like Nan in the old days, I used to have a waist, and I was big, but I was more curvy.
Okay.
And I've lost my waist, and I have my little sugar baby spare tire.
I think you're a combo.
Okay, a combo short, long.
Turn around so I can see the back. Side and back. Go to the side for me. Okay, lift your arms up a little bit. So girls, this is what I'm looking at. Bring your arms to the front. Yeah, okay, good. So if you look at Cindy from the side, okay, she's actually could be combo short. Now, why do I say that? I say it because, see, she's flat in the back. She's got a flatter tail, flatter tush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so, yeah, okay, you can drop your arms and come back forward. And would you say like one of your best features are your legs?
Yes, up until here.
Okay, but legs.
But yes, I would think so.
Mm-hmm. Legs. So yeah. I would say you're a combo short, but pretty short.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. There.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Righty. You're so welcome. Okay, let me keep going. Unless you guys want me to look at anybody else, that's fine.
Teresa, can you hear me?
I'm Renee, and I can. I don't know if Teresa can hear you. She might be listening. Or
I'm sorry, Renee. This is Jeanette. I'm sorry, I meant to say Renee. Anyway, you can see I got my voice back here.
I do. Good.
So, yeah, I of course had a wrong setting on. But anyway, I'd like you to size me up. I know I'm an apple. I've got really good legs. I don't know if I'm a short or a combo or anything like that.
You're short.
I'm 5 foot. I used to be 5'3½", but I had a spinal surgery, so I'm 5'2" now. And I'm 67 years old. So I just don't know, I used to have a perfect hourglass figure, really, 36, 24, 36. But
you remember all the numbers. That's so cool, Jeanette.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a long time ago. So anyway, I don't really know. I'm very big here. I've done a lot of heavy lifting work in my life, and I'm very big here. I'm large chested. I had a breast reduction. So, but I'm still.
I say you're a combo, Jeanette.
I'm a combo. I'm an apple, and I'm a combo.
Mhm.
Okay,
Combo, maybe combo a little short, but a combo.
okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Terry's looking at me. Did you want me to look at you, Terry?
I did, and I am 5'7".
Okay. Actually, you guys, the height doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. It's not how tall or how short you are, just so you know. It's always good to know. But that's not something that goes into this.
Okay.
Even though it thinks like it. All right, so standing up, let me just kind of look at you. Okay, you guys, what you think? She's a short, isn't she? Turn to the side for me, Tara. Yes, she is. So can you see why I say that? Look at her beautiful long legs. She is all legs.
Yes.
That's all you got to know. So Terry, you're all legs. Notice that she's flatter here. She doesn't have a big booty. She's nice around here and here, but she's all legs. So
Nice
that
around-
means you are
Sorry,
short, Terry.
I don't see you. Hold on. I'm looking for you so I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where's Renee?
So what I'm saying is you're a short torso.
But when I measured it based on what Teresa said, it wasn't exactly right. I mean, I know that I'm very short-waisted.
You're a
And that I
short
had-
torso, Terry, so don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
about whatever your
Oh.
measurement said. All I have to
Uh-huh.
do is look at you. You're all long legs.
I am. That's true.
There you have it. Then you're a short torso, long leg.
Okay, great. Thanks.
There you are. Gorgeous long legs. Yes, and as Teresa would say, you know, in the modeling industry, you'd be the one that they'd select for mini skirts because you look
Yeah.
so good in a short skirt.
Yes.
Yes, really.
All right. Harmony's like, what about me? What about me?
Well, you know what's funny is that when I originally measured myself with Teresa's book, I came out as a combo, but every other indication is long torso. So I don't know if you can see very well the contrast, but
Go back, set back just a little further. Yes, okay. So you can see in the difference with Harmony, she's got a beautiful tail in the back, beautiful tush. Turn to the front now. Dropping arms. You're long torso, girl.
okay.
Or you know what? You might be combo long. Probably combo, little combo, but long.
It's funny because in the original basic workout video, in T-Tapp Twist, Teresa has modifications for if you're short or long torso, and she talks about how if you're long torso, you can get way down here, you know. And I'm as a relatively long torso or combo long, I get like here or whatever with my shoulders straight, and it looks absolutely nothing like what she does.
Right, but nobody's as long as she is. So, yeah, I mean, nobody's as long as she is. She really had an extreme body type. So I would say you're combo long. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, Teresa wants to know. Teresa, you are combo, girl. You are a gorgeous combo. I already know that because I've been watching you. So you are that perfect hourglass curve. Isn't that nice? That's the beautiful part. So when you gain, you probably gain more all over, and it takes you forever to lose. You got it. You're a combo. Yeah. It's like, okay, I thought it would be harder than that. Nope, that's what it is. Yeah, Rhonda. Go ahead.
I was wondering my body type.
Can you drop the camera? I can only see you from here up. It would be
Okay.
helpful to see your legs, even if it's a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. Go back a little. Keep going, keep going, keep going back for me. Nice. Drop your arms. What do you guys think? She looks pretty combo to me. How about to you guys? You want to turn to the side, Rhonda? Like perfect combo. Go to the back. Yep. Good. And then come back forward. I'm going to say I think you're like just a perfect combo. You're just
Lumpy all over. Okay.
no. See, now there we go.
I'm
You guys.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Wait,
You are gorgeous all over. Love it all. Okay. Thank you. No, that looks great. All right. Allison, were you wondering? Casey, I see ya. I won't ignore you, I promise.
I think I'm short torso.
Then you probably are.
Yeah, and I'm like a 31, 32-inch inside leg, but I've got nothing here. No shape at all.
Turn to the side
Okay.
and just kind of stand. You don't have to bend your knees. Just kind of come up. Just stand normal. Okay. And then to the back.
That way?
Yeah. So see, she's a little wider around the mid-back, which is indicative of more of a short torso. And then come back to the front all the way. I would actually say you're probably, would you say that you have your best feature if you were to give one were your long legs?
Yes, probably, yeah.
Okay, so I would say either real short torso or a combo short, but definitely on the short side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Beautiful.
makes sense.
Yep. Okay, Adrian, what do you think you are?
Well, I know I'm a combo, but I
Okay.
didn't know whether it was short or long there. So I thought I'd have the expert look at it.
I am thinking probably on the longer side.
Longer legs or longer
No,
torso?
longer torso, just a little
Okay.
bit longer, because you're pretty cinched in here,
Uh-huh.
right? And that's what
Yeah.
happens. Longer torso have longer place, okay, more places for all the organs. So you've got a nice cinch in here, and you have more narrow shoulders.
Ah,
Shorter
okay.
torsos we tend to be broader here,
okay.
okay? So
Okay,
that's why I
great.
would say combo long, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And that poor Casey, she has been being so patient. Go, girl.
I'm gonna see if you can see me better this way as I step back. Just to make sure it doesn't fall over.
Okay. Make sure it doesn't fall over. Look at you in that little square.
Tiny square. I think that I'm probably combo short based on like what I was reading Teresa's book, but since we're all doing this, I thought it would be a good chance to get your opinion.
Okay.
So it's a little hard to have gray on gray today.
No, that's okay. I can see you. Just stand tall and look out straight ahead. Okay, bring your arms a little to the front of your body. Okay, so what do you guys think? Turn to the back. There you go, nice. And turn back to the front again. So I'm not seeing short torso. Are you guys? No? Okay. So would you, yeah, you have a waist, Lovey. You do. And now, but tell me, would you say, oh my goodness, I have beautiful, long, lean legs?
I would say before kids, I liked my legs.
Well, listen, honey, you just birthed you 4 beautiful babies.
I did.
What an amazing body. Okay. Oh my goodness. I would say maybe more of a combo, maybe combo short. You're not a pure short.
Okay.
You're not a pure short. If you were a pure, I can say that fast. You would be much more narrow here, a little broader here, and like flat in the back, like wide mid back, flat in the bottom back. So I would say you're actually more combo.
Okay. Combo short. Thank you.
Yeah, so good.
I'm pretty confident that I'm short torso, long leg, because my husband just makes fun of me all the time for my legs being stupidly long for my height.
Well, there you
But
have
my
it.
legs have always been chunky, so that's super frustrating. So just basically from my knees to my boobs, that's where I gain the weight. And
Knees to boobs. Well,
so I
that
look
would
at
be
the
a combo. Chunky legs would not be a pure short torso.
Okay.
Short torsos typically they're all in the torso with really thin, long legs and no tail.
Okay.
No tush. I mean, when I think about that, my best friend and my husband are both pure short torsos. I mean, gorgeous long legs, nothing here, and really broad here. That's a pure short torso. So, yeah, so that's why I would say probably not pure short torso, but that doesn't mean you don't have nice long legs. probably more either combo or combo leading to short. Okay. But again, the whole idea is it doesn't really matter from a T-Tapp perspective. She made sure that on all these moves, it works for everything. Doesn't really matter. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to, yeah, Casey, go ahead. Ask, you can talk, and I'm just going to look at another question.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like okay for broad open questions, but something I've kind of been wondering all week is I know that Teresa was very big in incorporating the body brushing. And I know that you've had some live videos and things on the body brushing. And I did it consistently for a while, and I've like fallen off, and I got new brushes, and I'm like, I'm gonna get back into it, and I haven't really yet. I wanted to ask specifically, like, someone who's like time crunched, is it like okay to just do like your trouble areas until you get to a place where you have more time, or is your lymph gonna get stuck if you're only doing your trouble areas? Does that make sense?
It does it makes perfect sense. Yes. And you know what, Casey, I would give you some answer and feel like, oh, how smart I am. And the real bottom line is, I don't really know. I mean, I don't know that anybody really knows, unless they're really going inside the body and watching to see what happens. So that being said, I'm going to give you a guess. So if we think about that, what is it that you're doing it for?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can answer the question, what are you doing it for?
Yeah. To decrease cellulite and like lean out the chunky spots.
Okay. So
and
it's more for a spot reducing is what you're looking at it for.
Yeah.
So I would say that is fine to use it for that.
Okay.
Now, I brush every day, but I'm not brushing it for that reason. I'm brushing to tighten up my skin because I'm old. We're getting older, right, girls? And so it does do that, okay? And because it really helps the body build collagen, and it has really made a big difference for me. And I'm doing it for the lymphatic function of it. And so if you're doing it for lymphatic, for health, and for detox, you do want to do the full sequence. Even if you don't do as much, but just, oh, I don't have a lot of time, just do the sequence, okay?
Okay.
It doesn't take, I mean, really, I can do the sequence as I'm doing it here. How long does it take? You know, not too long, really. Up, 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 up. Yeah, I'm done. So that didn't really take a lot of time.
No, it didn't.
Right, exactly. So I was, and it does make a difference. It really does. So the lymphatic part of it, the circulation part of it, the skin tightening part of it, you really want to do the full thing to get the full amount of benefit out of it.
Yeah. I mean, long term, I do want skin tightening. So I guess I should do the whole thing.
Yeah, it's helpful, to be honest, to do the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do highly recommend it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Okay, now Sherry had another question, so let me keep going, you guys. Question 2 at the beginning of PBS: when to straighten the leg, does the hip go back or what? Great question. When the arms are in the back to pump, what about the hands? Did Senior Fit change them? Ah, great, thank you. And how to tell if you're putting your chin in or not. These are some good questions, Sherry. Thank you for that. Okay, you guys, so yeah, the straighten and the bend, right? So I'm just going to hinge to here instead of going all the way down so you can see, all right? The hip doesn't move. Now, it's going to look like it goes back a little bit, doesn't it? Actually, as I'm looking at it, it's going to look that way. But ideally, what you're just trying to do is take that thigh bone and just give it a little bit of a rotation, okay? I don't have any better description than that. You're just, because if you just try to straighten, and you can see it in these pants, I think, because of the weird way that it goes. If I'm here and I'm going, okay, I'm just going to straighten that leg. Can you see what just happened? The knee will roll in and bend and straighten. And I'm not trying to roll my knee in. I'm just straightening it. I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to straighten. It just will roll in. And I'm losing the activation. So that's why it's not a big movement. So don't feel like it has to be and a straighten and a bend and a straight, you know, you don't want to do that. It's more just a rotation. That thigh bone is just rolling out like I can go to here. Now in this position, you really want to arch your tail up, okay? And keep the ribs up, elbows. So I'm really activated here. Can you see how much I'm arching that tail, pressing my thumbs, and then bend. But I'm not really moving. Now I'm going the other side. You can't really see my hip move, right? So I'm just turning it out, just maybe a little bit. Really keep arching, turning it out and bend. So it's opening up in the hips right here. So it's a small movement. So it just, yeah, there you go. And if it moves a little bit, it's okay. Because most of us are what? Tight in the hips, right? We can barely get a rotation. So that looks better. That looks good. Two of the things that I'll just mention, one of the things that I find a lot of us do, not wrong, not bad, but you might not get as much activation out of it, is when we're doing it the senior fit way, meaning we're not hinging all the way to a flat back. We're just dropping down a little bit. I want you to really feel shoulders down your back, squeeze those shoulder blades in, thigh bones out. And when you do this, here's what a lot of us tend to do. We tend to start to drop the upper body lower, right? Not bad or wrong, but just feel the difference if you can really arch the tail up, ribs up as you do it. It's just a little bit different feeling. You got it. Very nice. You're doing a great job with that. Nice work. Yes, yes, yes. If you're going to go all the way to a flat back, I would all the way to a flat back, bring your feet slightly further apart. And really, that flat back is intense, right? So you really still think, arch, arch, arch. It's almost like this is one unit on this point. Sticking the tail out, you're going to come all the way over. Arching the tail, shoulders down and up, blades are up, thigh bones are out. And when you do the straighten in the bend, now watch me from here, okay? So I'm going to straighten that leg and bend. And straighten the other leg and bend. Now here's what I want you to watch. I'm not going up and down with my upper body. I'm just straightening and bending and straightening and bending. And that's what I mean by a tabletop. Okay, so here's what I see a lot of people doing is straighten and bend, or they'll go up and down a little bit, which just takes that activation up off of that back. So just a few things to pay attention to if you're going flat. Good, Kathy. You know what, Kath? Bring your upper body lower if you have the flexibility to do that. There. Now really feel your elbows going up to the center of your back. There. Beautiful. Nice alignment. Yes. And bend them both evenly. There you go. And now rotate out. Pretty good. Keep arching the tail when you do it. Good. So straighten the other one and arch the tail. Yeah, better. That looks good. It's a feeling, isn't it? When you get there, you really feel tabletop on it. That looks good, Kathy. Now, Kathy's hip is lifting slightly, but she has two false knees, new knees. So she's doing the best she can. I can see that. And that looks terrific. Teresa, you can go lower if you can, but keep that tush up. Yeah, good curl up, Kathy. Thank you for that. Arch that tail up even higher. So right there, Teresa. What you just did was when you changed, you dropped your upper body a little bit. So just see, I know it's challenging. Keep it up. So like, I'm just going to go, see, watch my upper body. I'm going to straighten and bend and straighten and bend. I'm not lifting or dropping my upper body because your form is so pretty. It's just tiny little things now. There you go. Nice. That's it. See, that upper body's a tabletop. Can you guys, if you're watching or you can see that? That looks like nice, Teresa. When you come up, make sure you put your hands on your knees and tuck curl. Nope, she came right on up. Okay. Have it your way. Good work. Okay, so that's a challenging one, but that looks great, you guys. Very nice. All right, and I think there was one more question that Sherry gave us, and it was a great question, so I'm going to go, as I recall, you just look last one. Oh, arms in back. What are the hands doing and how to tell I'm putting my chin in or not? Oh, two really good ones. Okay, arms in the back for senior fit. Let me go to the back for you. So I'm going to put my body back in my alignment. Ribs up, pardon my back here. So you're going to intertwine your fingers. Yes, that's the same. You're going to try, if you can, see the elbows, shoulders down. Elbows are going to come back to the center so you can engage the lats. If you can get your palms together, do. And I like to have those thumbs like this. Now, I know Teresa, just like this. So in other words, intertwine, palms together, thumbs out, so that your sides of your thumbs are facing each other. Now, when you put them against the back, the thumbs press in. Now, if you can get the pinkies out too, that's good that Teresa does that. It's just not comfortable for me, so I never teach the thumb. But Kathy's got the pinky out. Good. So Kathy, that looks really good. And I know you're not doing it actually, you're looking at me. But ideally, just make really sure, you guys, the biggest thing with this is that when you do your lift touches, two things: you don't move the upper body with it. And second part, you don't do this. It's not lower arm out, right? So it's shoulder down, squeezing those elbows. I'm going to try to get my palms together. Can you see? Thumb in the sacrum. And then watch, lift touch. You can see, I can't lift very high, but I'm lifting elbow to shoulder. Elbow to shoulder. So you know what, Kathy, that looks good, but do me if you will, just try something. Just keep looking straight ahead. Bend your elbows more out to the back. Yeah, even more. No, in other words, bend them and hold it there for a second. So in other words, right now you're straightening, bend them, put the thumb in, elbows are back, and lift touch from here. She's trying, she's doing her best. Can you see she's doing her best? All right, better though. Now, if you're somebody who has the flexibility that can straighten your arms, does anybody have the flexibility to do that? I think Kathy probably does, and that's probably what she's trying to do. And you can do it. This is the way we used to do it. We'd really bring those elbows in, and we would do it like this. But I'll tell you what, that is not a good feeling. And it's too invasive on the elbow here. We tend to hyperextend it, especially if you're somebody that's got loose joints. So what I like to do is think, okay, I'm going to straighten it down a little bit, palms together, but I'm now going to, then once it's down there, I'm going to give it a slight bend at my elbow, and I'm going to turn my elbows in towards the center and do a lift touch from here. And that's much more effective, and it doesn't hurt the elbow. Better, Kath. Yes. Yes. That little thing will make all the difference. Good, Teresa. I'm watching you too. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, so that's the idea. Did that help you, Sherry?
Yeah, I've got two broken arms. I mean, I broke both my arms, so I cannot get my palms together, but I don't think I could ever get my palms together.
No, it's okay. You don't need to. You don't need to. That's fine. That's why I say you go to wherever you can. All right, but, okay, keep doing that. But here's what you do want to do to get more. First of all, look straight ahead. You're dropping your head. Bring your body back in position. Bend the knees, tailbone, the whole deal. Otherwise, it doesn't work well. Good. Now, I want you to think, and while you're lifting, here's what I want you to think. I want you to think about lifting shoulder to elbow. So think elbows in towards the center of your body. Bend them more. Nope. Bend them out to the back more. Bend your elbows out to the back.
I can't do much.
That's okay. And that's where you're going to be, right? Right there.
Yeah.
Good work. Now, I'm thinking that looks good. Sherry, really good. But you might also want to use a towel.
I'm thinking I do.
A towel is not cheating.
Yeah.
A towel will give you an incredible stretch there. So I would have her use a towel for that.
All right. So then I would just grab it as close as I can, like this?
No, that's a great myth. Thank you for that. You want it right there. So you girls stay back. I'll talk you through it. This is a great teaching for this. So put yourself in alignment. Your palms are facing away from the body. Very good. And have your thumbs to the center of your body. Now, right there, girls, nope, don't twist yet. I don't want you to twist yet. Bring your thumbs out to the centers. So you're there, thank you. Now come real tall, get your ribs up. Good, now kind of stretch the arms down a little bit more. Beautiful. Now not twisting at the wrist. Just take that thumb in and do one rotation, thumb in towards the tush. Hold.
Okay.
Now you guys, can you see right there? Shoulder, elbow, wrist is in a nice alignment, okay? That's where she needs to be. If she was too close in, it would be out of alignment. So now, Sherry, I just want you to think chest up, Thank you. Shoulders down. Tighten the towel with your arms. Tighten it. Thank you. And now do just a little, take it away from your back and bring it back in. How does that feel?
Good stretch.
Good. That's what we're looking at. Now you probably could take those thumbs one more half rotation so they're out to the sides. How does that look? Good. Now see, she did a great thing where she didn't twist her wrist. You guys see, she just did a rotation. And now do it. Straighten the arms. Straighten the arms down. Good. Now, can you guys also see as she's doing it? Nice work, honey. That looks great. Try not to move the upper body, which you're doing a great job. Now, can you see also how that's going to, you can stop now, that was enough, how she's going to start to slim the top of that arm. Could you see that? She was really engaging the top of her arm. Could you feel it in your arm, Sherry?
Yes, definitely.
Beautiful. Okay, so that's another reason. That's how you want to lengthen out, stretch here. She was getting that. So that looked really nice. Thanks for sharing that with us. And I think the last one you wanted to know was chin.
Yeah.
This is powerful, you guys. The head position makes so much difference. So again, let me just see if I have different ways for you to do it. But if you just kind of think, if you can visualize, did I talk to you about the boat ramp? Do you recall the boat ramp? No, okay. So you know how you have a trailer with a boat and there's a boat ramp and that car is going to take that, that boat and it's going to go down into the water, right? So if you visualize that, take your boat down into the water. So there's your forward head shot, right, that you see people at. Now you want to bring that boat back out of the water. So you're going to pull it back. Now notice when you pull it back, your chin is slightly tucked in, right? It's not like this and it's not like this. It's tucked back, almost like you're going to give yourself that ugly double chin. And then if you take your hair, not from the top of your head, but top back, like if you had a back ponytail, and pull it there. So when you pull your hair up like that, here's another thing that might help you. You know when you get your hair washed, if somebody's doing this with your head, it feels really good, right? Do that and feel how that makes you tuck the chin in and back and lift from the top of your head. You feel that? Now feel nice? So what that's doing is putting your head in alignment. Now it does take your chin down a little bit, but if you're down like this, and now you go to do arm pumps, feel the difference between how it feels there and how it feels here, lifting that chin, which is what most of us do, or forward. Can you feel how that looks good, Nan? It's a little extreme, but that looks good. Yeah. So I hope, does that help, Sherry? Good. Okay. So yeah, that's a really good thing to do. You always want to think about what you're doing with your head in space with these. A lot of us, it's very interesting, are really attached to our chins. And I see so many people, we basically lead all our movements with our chins. The chin lifts in order to move. So you'll probably know if you're a chin lifter, but if not, just kind of pay attention to that. It'll make a big difference. All right. So who else has a question? I think I got most of Sherry's. Did I get all of your great questions there, Sherry? You had some really good ones.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think you got everything I wrote down. One, I know I need to work my core because I didn't even know where my core was or what muscles were. I couldn't feel those muscles, but I'm starting to feel some muscles, so I think I know.
Great.
Okay. So I think I found my stomach muscles. I don't know if I found anything up here, but.
Okay. All right, so your core is everything from here down here.
Okay.
Everything. This is all your core. Okay. So you know when Teresa would say, oh, you want to lose here, you got to learn to love your lats. Yeah. The lats are like from here across, they're big fans across into here. They're really big muscles. And this is the place where most of us do get locked up. What do I mean by that? Well, especially if we're here all the time like this, they'll lock up here. But also, how many of you find that you're kind of getting a little bit barrel chested here? Mm-hmm. Okay, so barrel chested, thanks for that, Rhonda. Barrel chested is, well, in somatics, it's called the green light reflex, meaning It's how we armor ourselves to go out in the world. Typically, we're kind of type A people, and we're like, all right, I'm ready to go out into the world. So we kind of thrust our rib cage forward and arch out, and we're going. It's the exact opposite from the red light reflex, which is like, oh my goodness, I'm here and hunched. Either way, we lose brain to body in this mid back. So again, we all think of our core as the belly, and I'm not saying it's not, but a lot of it is up here. So the more that you can start doing these, that's why I do this a lot, you guys. Hands on your rib cage. This is powerful. Even if you come into a little bit of like a plie, and you just put your hands here. So this is a great way to do the cat-cow, if you will, the curl and the scoop. So with your hands on your rib cage, nice work. So bend, give me a little bend to the knee. Now think about curling under and pull the elbows forward. And at the same time, feel like you're pushing back at the breastbone. So you're pushing back there, elbows are forward. Good. Now here's a clue. If you're leaning, it means you're not real connected here. So Sherry, you're doing a great job, but I think you're leaning as opposed to curling. Better. That's better. Bring your elbows a little more forward if you can. Elbows to the front of your body more. That's where she's going. Okay, now arch and pull the rib cage and the arms back. So now we're opening in that back. Curl under. Press the fingertips, push back as the elbows come forward. That looks good. And arch back. Oh, nice. One more time. Forward, elbows, and arch back. Oh, beautiful. And then shake it out. Now notice now that you did that, just kind of do a little bit of rotation, maybe even some hip rotation. See how much movement you can get in that whole torso. Good. So Sherry, I'm not picking on you. I'm just showing you this so that you can play with it a little bit, okay? So when you just did that, I'm going to show you what you just did, okay? Not wrong. You went like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get that. So for you, you know what's going to make all the difference is beginning to get movement into that spine. Those undulations, the curling and the arching, and doing hip rotations, and really getting movement. That looks better. Better. Now when you go back, arch and curl. Just arch and curl. Just your spine. Good. Arch and curl. Beautiful. And then add the elbows. Add the elbows. And now you're going to start to really open up, you guys. So now, oh, that looks good. Tracy, good work. Yeah, nice, Nancy. You all look really good. So just paying attention. Is that hard? Have you found that to be a little challenging to like from a brain standpoint? It's a little challenging and we're probably sore because we worked. But the more you can do that, now you have movement in your body. And that's what we're talking about. The more range of motion you have, the more movement, now you're going to be able to get that core going. Okay, because that's core. Your whole spine is core. Okay. And so one other thing, sorry, this is just kind of coming to me is, and I know this part gets really boring, but there's a reason for it. The feet bend, curl, hand away, press up tall. Okay, so those arms you can play with. Where do you feel the most amount of core activation? Core activation, that's probably not the right word for here. Just where you can really feel the girls are up. You might even feel a bit under the pit. Your chin is tucked and you're lifting. Bend the knees a little bit. Now think tailbone down and just flicky kick. So when I see people, when we first start flicky kicking, if you're doing this, it means that you're not stable in your core. So it's just a really easy way to start going, okay, how core am I? Tail is down. I'm not wiggling all around. Yeah, I'm going a little side to side because we're changing legs, but for the most part, beautiful. How about, you ready, standing, really get ribs up here and get on one leg. Now, if this is too much for you, you can have your hands somewhere, but try to challenge your balance. Think right there, you guys, tail down, standing leg stays bent. I can lift mine higher, so I will. If you can't, it's okay. And think ribs up. See, balance is your core. And that's why it's so important to work on your balance. Because let's face it, as even when we're younger, but as we get older because of bone, we need to be really focused on brain to body connection to that core, so that, God forbid, we go to fall, muscle memory picks up, and we're like, oh, and we can catch ourselves. Nice work. Just one more time on this one. Standing knee bend, stretch. And what I'm doing now to keep myself up is I'm activating my lats. And drop. Good work, you guys. And then shake it out. So you see me do this. There's a reason. Really do a shake for me. See how high you can get those shoulders. I know you feel silly, but so what? Shake out the hands. Ah, Terry, come on, girl. You can get those shoulders up. I know you can with them beautiful long legs. Good work. So now just stop for a minute and just notice how you feel. See, all that work we just did, now you've loosened everything up. Now, don't you feel better? Like you could just go out and do stuff, right? Because now you've warmed everything up and you've loosened all that fascia up. Nice, nice, Monica. Good movements there, you guys. It feels
I kept
better.
falling, Renee. I kept falling. I've
That's
fallen
okay.
over just out and about doing normal stuff. And that's when they told me, my son saw me fall and said, your core, Mom, you couldn't catch yourself. You should be able to catch yourself. And
He's right.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, here's something else too, Sherry, and anybody that's having balance challenges, and that's why we practice balance. I do balance all the time in classes, different ways to do balance. You know, one of the best ways to strengthen core, one of the best ways, is by doing planks. You know, in my group, I had the plank challenge. Now, for a lot of us, planks are too challenging. I get that. If you have shoulder issues, wrist issues, you got to be careful. But guess what? You can go right up against, I think you can see me here, right up against your wall. I've got some things here, that'll be okay. Just put your arms shoulder width apart and begin to bring your legs back until you're leaning in. You're holding yourself. Think shoulders down and then think tail down. And just hang here for a little bit. You might want to kind of do a little bit of lift a heel and bend. But this way, you're strengthening that upper back, you're strengthening your neck and shoulders, your tail is down, and you're pulling the belly away from the floor. And just challenge yourself. It's fun to do it. Maybe start with, 30 seconds or 10 seconds. I don't know, whatever your strength is. So you can do that against the wall. You can do it if that's not challenging enough. I'll just do it real quickly, on the seat of a chair. Okay, different ways to do it. Seat of chair. So same thing. You can kind of look at your chair, make sure that it's one that's stable, not that has wheels and will rail. Right. No, stable. So hand, come forward. Notice shoulder, elbow, wrist. For wrist issues, you want to spread your fingers wide and then create a suction cup with your palms. That will take some of the pressure off the wrist. So let's just kind of come here. So now it'll be a little more challenging because you've got a little more gravity working on you, right? As opposed to the wall that you're here. Here's next level. And again, you control it. So you just come on down, make sure that you don't sink between your shoulder blades or drop your tail, okay? So you're just pressing up through the shoulder blades. Here's sinking, here's press the palms into lift. Belly button is in and up, and you can even go forward and back. You can bring a leg in. I'm just giving you some options. But just being here will begin to give you some, it's like strength training, right? But now, right, Sherry, if you fall, now you're going to be used to or have more. Oh, okay. Once you get to the plank, you can always do a little bit of a push-up. That might be a bit advanced for now, but those are the kinds of things. But now then you're strong enough that you can push yourself up, right? And that's functional. So those are important things to include, if you can, in your little daily routine. I know we could be spending all day just taking care of ourselves, right? Which is so much fun if you have the time. All right, so anyway, yeah, and T-Tapp will strengthen your core. Just do it, if nothing else, right? The hinge, the reach scoop, the twists, all really good. And then how many of you have done total, the second part where you have the balance? Yeah, see, not a lot of people have done the second part, okay. And that has a whole balance in it. So thank you for that. So core training is really powerful, but it's not doing a bunch of sit-ups. That is not going to do it. That'll just hurt your spine, especially if you have any osteoporosis. You don't want to be doing sit-ups, just so you know that. And that all they're working are hip flexors. So.
Can I ask a question, Renee?
Uh-huh.
I know I've heard it from day one about activating or locking your lats. And I know where the lats are, but I don't understand that term and I don't know what moves make that happen.
Lock the lats?
Or activate your lats.
Hi.
Or, you know.
Okay. All
How
right.
are you doing?
Can you feel it when you're doing your handaways?
My pen. I'll get my pen.
If I'm pushing my arms back, I guess.
20th?
Okay, so when you're pushing your arms back, Nan, what you're activating are your pecs.
Okay, I can feel that.
Right. So here, okay, so I just want you guys to see, a lot of us have our arms out wider, and that's okay. That's okay, Nancy. You can bring them out wider first, get yourself in position, and then slowly, as you drop the arms down, I want you to focus on lifting up the breasts. Like keeping her up, if you will. And you'll get to the place where you'll feel it right across here. Do you feel that? Good. So that's the front. And actually in the back, you're activating your lats to keep you up. Okay, so you know what we do in the front works on the back, back is on the front. What would be another great one for lats? I love doing ribs up. So even like, I'm trying to come up with one that's really easy for you to get. Well, even like this. So I just want you, when you get the ribs up, that's activating lats.
Okay.
Essentially, maybe that's just the easiest way to say it. So like if I just put my hands in, I'm not going to do pinkies, but maybe I'll just put my palms here and I'm going to inhale, push down in, press down and think, okay, I'm going to lift the girls. Lift the girls. Woo, keep pushing, pushing, pushing those hands down, lifting the girls. Now think shoulders back just a little bit. And then think, how can I slide the shoulder blades down and keep the girls up? Keep pushing on the hands. Do you feel the lats?
Okay. Yeah.
You guys, can you feel that? That was actually a good way to do it, I think. And release. Nice, you did, because I just watched everything drop. Okay, so holding the girls up, you're using the lats in the back to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that's not easy. Keeping those lats activated and ribs up is not necessarily an easy thing. And just being careful with this, not to, for a lot of us, we think, okay, I'm gonna bring the girls out and we pop our rib cage forward. Can you see the difference? Rib cage forward. So now it flares out from here and then we get kind of barrel here. If you're kind of barrel and bigger here, that's probably what you're doing. And it's not leaning back, which is what I always do. So you almost want to think like roll the ribs in and lift. So again, for me, lifting the torso weight up works. For here, I'm trying to always find different ways to show people how to do it. Shoulders back and down, and then just drop the arms. But you were doing it, Nan, whatever you did before, because as soon as I said, okay, that looks good, Cindy, and ribs down. Ah, see, everybody dropped. So that is a beautiful thing. That's how you know you're doing it. Yeah, great, great question. And you'll keep playing with it because the body will keep taking the path of least resistance always. And again, this one works, tapping here, pulling a string straight up. That tends to work. Yeah, for a lot of us. Good, good. Ribs up, really, that is the key to increasing your metabolism. Because again, it's right in here and around the vagus nerve. If we are locked up like this, we're not utilizing any of this. So the more we can, just again, repetition, right? The more you can do this and really activate here, you will find, yes, beautiful, that your metabolism will start to go up a little bit because now you're activating all those muscles. Okay, so that's powerful. Beautiful. All right.
I
Any
have a
other questions? Go ahead.
Okay, I have a question. It's about learning all of this because I'm very interested in brain body learning, and we've all just learned a ton of new skills this week. And I know for me, if I go back to doing my workout, even the fabulous workout like your new Basic Workout Plus, I'm going to go into my habitual brain body patterns. And what I'd like to know is what your perspective is on how we can actually integrate these new skills into our workouts without, like, I mean, it would take me hours and hours to get through a 45-minute workout if I were stopping and correcting everything. And not only do I not have the time, but I would end up getting sick from doing too much.
Correct, correct. You know what, Harmony? I think actually just go do like that Basic Plus that I did, because you've gotten enough now, and I think enough felt sense. No, you're not going to remember everything. It doesn't matter. But even the few things that you just got new, that you felt, and just put them in that workout. That workout is done, I do it slow enough that, you know, it's mind numbing probably, but you can really start to get some of this in, even if you just do a couple little things. And then maybe, you know, in another couple weeks, you might go, you know what, let me just watch. I'm not sure I'm doing plies. The nice thing is we have that day separate, right? So it's not like you have to go through every one of these videos to find it. And we do the teaching in the beginning. So maybe, you know, just do, okay, I'm just really gonna focus on primary. You do the workout, and then maybe in a couple weeks go, let me just see what she was doing with plies. Go review just the plies. And then go in and put that one in. So you do one move at a time. Okay, and the more you do it, the more you start to get that felt sense, the somatic sense of, oh, you know what, that doesn't feel quite right, kind of thing. What is it exactly? What was it that I did in there that's not feeling right now? And then you can go back and review that. So I would take one move at a time, maybe do a move a week. Okay, as a focus. Doesn't mean that's all you do, but I'm just going to really focus on everything I learned for primary and go do the workout, and then do that. Not that you have to do it every week, but you know what I'm saying. And then maybe the next week you go on to arm pumps or plies or whatever as you work through the workout.
I think that's brilliant, because I know I would be tempted to try to get everything right before I did a full workout. And I would just be like hyper focusing on skills development instead of on working out. So
great. Thank you for that. And that is who is attracted to T-Tapp. That's what I always say. Really intelligent women, and we've got to get it right. And but I will tell you, that can also be, maybe not in your particular case, but that can also be one of our biggest saboteurs. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to do it right. I got to get it perfect, or I'm not going to do it. And so listen, doing it not exact is so much better than not doing it at all. So you guys get that right. So just do it. Just do it. You're not going to do it wrong, you know, and then the more you get a little better, because you get more of a better felt sense, you'll continue to move forward with it.
Great. Thanks. That's really helpful.
Good.
And one more question. It's actually a request from myself and my sister-in-law. Would you be able to make a senior fit video?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, senior fit. I was going to do ladybug as well. Would anybody like, and maybe a floor, but you like senior fit first, huh? Okay.
Well, that's my sister-in-law's go-to, and she's been trying to figure, she uses the DVD, and so many water breaks and so many kickouts, she can't get to work out with her work schedule. So
mind-numbingly boring. Just saying. I understand now why she did it. I don't know if it's why she did it, but I get kind of a good, that whole idea of the fascia and older people doing it, but it's not for older people. It's just a great workout. So I do think we need something like that. So yes, thank you. I will do that.
Thanks.
I appreciate that. Yes. And by the way, you guys, one thing that, and I'll put it down in here so you have it, for those of you who were so kind to do this and do it with me. For the next week, if you get, I have a class package in there called T-Tapp Variety Classes. And there are actually 12 standing and 6 floor. And they're all, I think, under 30 minutes, but they're all T-Tapp. And so giving you a $10 off coupon for that. It's called 10 Variety, and it's T-Tapp Variety classes. So if that's something that you think you might enjoy after doing this, just for something a little different, let me just put that in there. It's 10 Variety is the coupon code. And you guys are the only ones that'll have that. It is 10 Variety. Easy enough to remember for $10 off that.
So Renee, is each one of those like a complete workout for the day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Each one of those is a complete workout. And I also have, if you're interested, like one that's 3 moves to a transformation, I call it. And that's just, I just took 3 T-Tapp moves and put them together. And I think there's 10 of those, 10 different classes. They're all under 20 minutes or less. And I just take 3 pure T-Tapp classes. And of course, we're always starting with primary back stretch. So you don't have to worry about that, whether it's reach and curl, and then two more moves. So just trying to give you some variety, because I find a lot of times too, if we do the same thing over and over again, that default just kicks in. Really what Harmony just said. It's like, okay, let me just do it so I can check that off my to-do list that I did it for today, right? And we're not paying attention. So if you have that every class is a little different, but still the T-Tapp moves, it helps you keep your brain engaged in it. Right, so that every day isn't exactly the same, exactly the same. Right, and it helps to keep you from going into that rote stuff, so you keep moving forward. So there's that one is in there as well.
And is all of that My Stretch Studio?
Yes, it's all on mystretchstudio.com.
Okay.
Yep. If you can't find one of them, just let me know. I'll send you a link, but you can kind of see there's all courses. Yes, Cindy.
Okay. When we're I know we were talking about east-west breathing. Can you? No, let me show you my chest. All right. So the east-west breathing is out like here and then back in, right? So when we do other breathing, I was thinking maybe more somatic yesterday, which was wonderful. Thank you. When we do the belly breathing out, do we want to try and belly out and then like combine it, or just focus on the belly breath and then the east-west breath as 2 separate things?
Yeah, that's a great question, because there's different breathing techniques for different things.
Okay.
Right, so that belly breathing is really good for the somatics. That is very specific to that. I like continuing to think belly breathing, mainly just because most of us shallow breathe. And whether you actually take it into the belly and expand or not, at least it helps get us deeper breathing, right? But specifically for this, I almost feel like I'm belly breathing, but my focus is into my rib cage. So if you're stopping to work on it, you can inhale and then let the ribs expand. Now hold the breath, pull your belly in and up. See how it expands those ribs even more, and then exhale. Now that's too much to think about when you're also putting it into a movement, right? So, there's different things, but you can definitely, so I would think when you're doing this workout, if it's easier for you to focus belly, that's fine, or rib cage is really what we're doing for this. Rib cage when you're doing any turns.
Okay.
Right, so inhaling.
Okay.
That's, pulling yourself in here.
Yeah.
Is really helpful for that. Here's another thing that I love in the beginning of my class is just to warm up. It's a great warm up to put your feet about hip width apart, not too close, with a little bend to the knee. Tailbone is down. Now you're going to feel like you're rolling over a ball. So the hands aren't close to you. So what I'm going to do is just drop my head, allow my shoulders to roll forward. See, so they're in front of me. And I'm just hanging here. Relax the head. Feel the weight of those long arms beginning to open you up where? Across that rib cage where the breathing is, right? So just kind of hold here. You can keep your tail down, relax your head. Now, think about taking that deep breath east to west into the lungs. Boy, you can really feel that back lengthen right now. Hold the breath and pull your belly in and up. Oh, feel that expand, and then exhale.
Yeah.
And release even more. Yeah, and then you can roll down and then roll back up. Isn't that a nice one? And then walk yourself up. Make sure you protect yourself as you walk up. So it's great. And it's great for respiratory health right now when we're all dealing with respiratory health, right? It's a great way to get those, you know, lungs going and inhale back into the rib cage and back. So it's another way to use the breath.
Okay, that was great. I did also want to mention, I've been taking advantage of Atlanta's cooler mornings. So before your classes, I've been out pulling real weeds and
Pulling real weeds, yeah.
pulling real weeds and kind of twisting. And I'd say for sure today, I was out there this morning sitting and reaching and not doing perfect, but I was like, back isn't bothering me that much today when I'm doing the big reachies. So it's made in the 5 days, it's made a big difference.
Yes, woohoo!
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love that. Yeah, you're unlocking in that body, and that's the health aspect.
Yeah, it was great.
So important, you guys. The body was meant to move. Motion is lotion, motion is medicine. Movement is medicine. It will heal you. And it doesn't mean it needs to be strict and militaristic. It's moving in circles, moving those shoulders, just moving with pleasure, moving with pleasure. That's what it does. Yes, Cindy, thank you for sharing that with me. That makes me so happy. Good. Leanne, did you have something? I could swear it looked like you did.
Yeah, what I was wondering is I sit down for 9 hours a day. And obviously, you've probably noticed I keep cramping every time we do the twists, and I'm like shoulders up near my ears, and I have trouble releasing that.
Yes.
What kind of things can you recommend that I can do while I'm at my desk?
Can you not do this at your desk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of things actually you can do at a chair. You really can. So I'll just show you. I mean, on the edge, first of all, you have to have a really good ergonomic, I said that word all the way without So what does that mean? So ideally ergonomic, you want to be at the edge of the chair, your knees are right out from the hips, knee and ankle goes straight. Ideally, see I'm really short, so ideally I would have a lower chair where I would be up, where my knees are right in alignment. Right now my knees are below, so it's a little bit of pressure here. So that's where you want to be ideally. All right. And then even here, so you're busy, you were like this, right, all day. So when you can, just relax the lower back, curl back, bring your arms in front. Inhale, stretch those arms forward, right, curling. And then just think, all right, roll up on your torso, pull back.
That feels good.
Oh, isn't that nice? Relax, curl forward, pull it back. Yeah, again, you can use rib cage. This and pull back, arch it out. Yeah, keep that moving. That looks good. And back off. All these kinds of things, however it works for you. How about one elbow forward? Think about your ribs.
Oh, that made me cramp already.
So we'll take it slower, more easy. How about just little circles, like pulling back, curling forward, there you go, nice. And just whatever you can do, just gently roll it forward, arch it back. Good. Do you have arms on your chair?
Yes.
Okay, that's to make it a little complicated, can it? If you try not to touch, if you can get a chair without it, just for this, it's really helpful. How about some turns? This is a great one for turns. So putting your hand outside, other one back. I got to bring my legs up. So you inhale, on the exhale, use the hands to turn the shoulders. Press the leg against the hand, hand against leg. So you don't pull the leg in. You're creating resistance. Exhale on the turn. Release, inhale, east to west into that rib cage. Might need to be gentle for you so you don't cramp, though. I was doing that a little more for Cindy. And then turn wherever you can and release out. Other side, inhale. Exhale, turn. Super. Curl and scoop again. Really helpful. Now, for those of you also, this is, I think, really helpful too. This is specifically what you asked me, Leanne, but I'll just take a moment to remember anyway. Here's the tennis ball. Tennis ball under, rolling that ball on your foot, contract and release.
Okay.
Oh goodness. Oh, that hurts today. I hadn't done it yet. I can really feel that. So rolling the ball on your foot, keep the fascia moving. We know that the fascia works all the way up the body. So as you're working the feet, you might all of a sudden start feeling something else. How about spirals? Pelvic spirals. Work the pelvis. Nice. Yeah. And the other way. Keeping the pelvis loose and moving will help keep your neck and shoulders moving. So it's all connected.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, those are great questions. So there's lots you can do. You can do upper body, you know, if you just want some of that. Moving the shoulders. How about sides? You can do sides. One hand here, one hand here. Press. As I'm lifting this, I'm going to press this knee. Push it down. Think about keeping that hip down and lift up and over. Root the other sit bone down. Flip. How about this one? Bring it up. Flip the top hand. Root. So does that make sense? Like if you're really pressing that hip bone down on the same side as you lead. So you're getting that bi-directional stretch. Super good. So you can do that. And then curl and scoop. So lots actually you can do in a chair if you just kind of think about it for a minute. But anything that you can do like this will make all the difference for you. Nice. Actually, even arm pumps, really. Which is really
I
nice.
find arm pumps really hard. Like I feel like my shoulders are curling forward and I'm pulling back, and it's a lot of tension for me when I try to do it.
It's almost too much for you, huh? At this point? All right, then, yeah, just kind of simulate then, just doing it more gently. One of the things, you know, especially as us type A women, we're busy like, okay, I need to have it done. And we're like intense with it. It's almost like we're punishing ourselves with it. And one of the things we know with fascia, really gentle movement, gentle movement. Body loves gentle circles, gentle movement. Just allow it. Again, that whole idea of how can I move my body with as much effortless movement as possible, moving with pleasure. You guys feel nice, moving with pleasure. I just love that. For me, it just works so nicely and it feels really good. So if we can stop with all of that, oh, we have to get our core strong and all this, and we just move with pleasure, it's really healing. It's really healing. And the body will continue. Thanks for that question. It was a great question. And hopefully other people got some information from that. So thank you.
Renee?
Happy liked it. Yeah, Nan.
What do you think about hula hooping?
Great.
Okay.
Hula hooping is great.
It just got me thinking about that with the spirals yesterday. And I have a weighted one, and I have one that I made with just a little bit of water in it. And it's
fun. Yeah, I mean, hula hooping, right? You got to get that pelvis to move. It's perfect. And by the way, I want to mention this to you, unless you guys have a different experience with this, but you know, talking about that relaxing those bellies, how we're always trying to pull the belly in because that's what we've been told we need to do, and instead do the back and relax that belly. We can't get a good breath if we're always pulling it in. The point I wanted to make with that is, whenever you see belly dancers, typically, don't they have a little bit of a belly? They got a belly, right? But boy, can they move. And so again, I just want to make that comment that, you know what? We're meant to have a little belly there. It's just fine. Let's not hate our bellies. I'm saying to myself, Renee, are you listening to yourself? Yes. This is how I coach myself. Stop hating that belly. Love the belly. But anyway, movement not necessarily is going to flatten it, but it will give you great movement with that. Yeah, Cindy.
Renee, I used to belly dance, so I'm noticing a lot of your stuff is stuff that, like the lift in the chest. I will often, and especially since you keep reminding me to do this, a lot of the T-Tapp stance is almost exactly like a belly dance stance. Except our feet are probably closer to hip width apart. We have bent knees because you can't dance with. And then you have to tuck your tailbone under, which pulls in your stomach, and then you lift your ribs. And then you do a lot of isolation from, like, so if I'm moving the top of my body,
Nice. Look
Move
at
the
you
bottom
go,
of my
girl.
body. And when I move my bottom, I don't move my top. So it's very like, the only thing we don't do is roll out our thighs.
Right. Yeah, I do that more in ballet and other things.
Yeah. So sometimes, and lately this week, especially if I'm just standing in the kitchen, I'll kind of get in a half, like a stance with my tailbone, and then I'll sit there and lift my chest up.
Beautiful.
And I just,
So that's ribs up. Who was talking to it? Sherry. That's
ribs
your
up.
ribs up. That looks great.
because that's what you're doing. Because
Right.
if you're going to do a chest circle, you're going to lift it up to the side, let it go down to the side. So you're doing that stuff. Anyway, sorry, no lessons.
No, I
Well, I
love
give the
that.
lesson. I don't care, but yeah. But
That's
it's all
exactly
very
right.
flowy, movie.
Flowy
You're
movie.
right. Most belly dancers have a belly.
Yes, right?
It's muscle.
It's muscle, but there's a belly. Exactly. But it's all about that movement. So if you've got a belly down here, meaning if it's not that perfectly washboard ab flat, love it anyway, as long as you really just keep it moving. That's so great. Thank you for that. I love that.
When you shimmy and belly dancing, if you have no belly, they can't really say. So everybody, my teacher used to say, love your jiggle. Because if you're shimmying and you have nothing, they're like, what? But you got belly, everything moves. It's great. Anyway, sorry.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm so glad you shared that. That's fun. How fun. And that's what we're doing, you know, just moving. Yeah, Casey.
So I have a couple other like not specific move questions, and then I have to run.
Okay. You don't have all day to sit and chitty chat about this?
I can hear that the 2-year-old hasn't fallen asleep, so I want to try to soothe him down, or he'll be a crank. Anyway, oh yeah, where do you get all your leggings?
Oh, aren't these just the cutest things on the planet?
All cute all week.
I'm noticing my new leggings. I was so excited to show them off today. You know what? I just, on Amazon, I found a couple of companies that I just love them because they're really silky. They fit me really well, but you know, I'm really short. And they just are fun. You know, they're not just your plain old blacks, which is fine, but I just always, because I'm in them all the time when it's something fun. So what was this one? This one was Lilac and Mint was the name of the brand. Lilac and Mint, all kinds of fun ones.
I like
and
that.
the other one that I love, but they come from China, so it takes a while to get them, is Moo Moo Woo. M-U-M-U-W-U.
Okay, Moo Woo and Lilac and Mint. Okay.
Lilac and Mint.
Okay, good. The second question.
And they're really reasonable.
Oh, that's even better. Yes. What could you tell us what some of your packages are for the somatic classes you do?
Oh, thank you. Actually, right now I have 2, well, I'll say 3 classes. So I have it's just general somatic stretch package 1 and another one package 2. Now, what's the difference? Well, the one was kind of, you know, we're always learning, right? Learning, trying new things, seeing what works. So the first ones were sort of more of my beginning stretches, which doesn't make them not effective. They are, okay? But then on my second one, I'm just doing a few other things on top of it, just having some different flows and different things. So, so they're both terrific. And you can, when you go on the site, like on the landing page, and you go down, there's a place on there with curriculum, and you can, you'll see what all is in every class. Now, that doesn't mean you know what all those moves mean. I mean, unless you're taking a what is pearls on a necklace, you have no idea. By the way, it's a roll up. You roll one vertebrae at a time. That's your but you can't go wrong with either one of them. And each of them, I think, have probably around maybe 10 classes in them. And I try to do different times. So that's that. And then you can always come on live.
Okay.
If you want to do a by the class. I think it's $8 a class, 30 for 3, and 60, I think, for 6 classes.
That's amazing. Okay.
It's a bargain.
Yeah,
It really is. Thank you.
Yeah, as an extrovert, I like try, I don't purposefully, but I know that I carry a lot of my emotions physically. So that I'm like the bubbly fun. And so I know that my muscles tighten a lot. And the last time I was doing T-Tapp more purposefully, whenever I would go to my osteopath, she would be like, what are you doing? You're so tight. And I think it was like you say, that kind of like self, like, I have to do this authoritarian.
Really intense, right?
Maybe it's not just an extrovert thing, Harmony, but I know for me, it's it like goes into my body instead of like expressing it
outward.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you, Casey, you know what? The somatic work is so powerful for so many things. And the more that I get into it and study it with different teachers and learning, the more passionate I am about it and continuing to bring it out. Because the body is so amazing. Every experience we have, they say, is in our body tissue. So we get, when we don't know, so much of our body movement and contraction is unconscious.
Yeah.
We don't realize. I mean, how many of us tend to grind our teeth, let's just say, and realize that we're even in our jaw until maybe at night or somebody says something and we're like, oh,
right.
It's all unconscious, right in here. Exactly. Yeah. How many of us even recognize the fact that, oh my gosh, I'm tense, I'm holding my breath, and I'm like this? You know, we don't even know it. What all are we holding down here? Let's not even go there. We're holding generations of trauma. And it's really interesting. One of the ladies that I mentor with, she's just brilliant. And she does a lot of what's called fractal anatomy, where she has this ability, a gift to be able to essentially see inside the body energetically at what's happening. And she was the one that taught me about fractals and how it all works together, and how if you're tense here, you'll tighten here, and all that stuff. Really brilliant. And I don't remember who the healer was from way back, but she made this comment, and I just find it fascinating. And what she said was, generations will continue to carry trauma with them until somebody is finally willing to feel it.
They gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, so that's powerful, and it hit a few of you, I could really see. Meaning that trauma gets locked into not only our cells, but our DNA. And think about this, right? Who knows where your ancestors' grandmother's grandmother's grandmother, right? What pogrom she was in, or what tragedy happened, or whatever went into that DNA, and it continues to carry forward as more and more trauma happens. And for us women, man, there's a lot of trauma. There just is, right? And it gets carried, and continued, right? Continued, unless till one of us says, enough. I've got fibromyalgia, I've got chronic fatigue, I've got whatever it is. It's finally, the body is trying to get us to pay attention. Sending us messages in the terms of pain. How many of you all of a sudden in 6 months are falling all the time? I hear that a lot. I just keep falling. There's a clue there. There's a clue there. The body is always giving us messages. And so that's the somatic work. For those of us, you don't have to get into your trauma when you do somatic work. Don't misunderstand me. You can just relax and release, and it's all good. But it can also be used to, and we don't have to create the story. It doesn't matter. There doesn't need to be a story around, oh, I just released some horrible thing that happened to me at 5. You just do the work, and all that comes to the surface and gets released. And now all of a sudden you've opened up in a hip, and like, wow, like, because think how much, you guys, how much of our life energy is used to lock our muscles in place. Just think about this. When you're going like this and you're activating, you're using all those muscles, doesn't that take a lot of energy? Don't you get kind of tired? And then you release, like, oh man. So think about how when those muscles are always contracted in a tightly contracted place all over, how much of our life force is being locked up in just holding it tight. Protecting. Over our shoulder. Don't hit me. don't. Well, what's the next thing coming at us in life? Oh my God, COVID, blah, 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 right? We're locked up, and that takes a lot of energy. So getting on the floor and doing these and releasing, just think if you just release one muscle in your hip, how much life force that can release into your life. How many of you said, wow, man, I'm feeling so much energy this week. I don't understand that. Any of you feel like you got more energy? Well, okay, Harmony, probably because you overdid it.
I've been exhausted all week.
That's okay, but you guys know, Kathy went, yeah, me. I know Nan said, wow, I'm kind of surprised that I didn't crash. And hopefully you won't, you'll rest tomorrow, right? Yes, yes, a little bit of rest. Thank you. But you will find over time, as you continue to release, you start to get, now your body isn't locked up. Now you have more movement, and with more movement, you have more control, more possibilities for movement. It gives you more, now you're really able to control what you're doing with your body. Right now, when you're tense and tight, you don't really have the possibility of control, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a lot of answer for that, but it's really just, it's just really powerful work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really like the idea of it because I am like a chronically tight person, and having kids has compounded it.
Yeah.
I love them, and I don't think it's just them, but like the trauma of the body, of the carrying and all of that stuff, like from like my little bitty pinky toe to like the top of the back of my head, like it's all chronically tight all the time.
Yes. You know what? What a beautiful awareness. So let me just honor you with that. The fact that you're even aware, really and truly, Casey, hear me, that's powerful. Most mothers of, and how many children do you have? 4, did you say now?
Yeah, 4.
I cannot imagine having 4 children. I'm being very serious. I had my one, that was enough. That was plenty. Ron is with me. I can't imagine just the amount of responsibility I felt for just taking care of that one other human. I can't imagine. Thanks, Sherry. I think Sherry probably doesn't have all day to hang with us. Thank you, darling. Is huge. And just feeling that responsibility of taking care of all those little souls constantly. You don't really ever have a chance to just drop, do you? No. There's always something. Someone needs something. And so the other thing about the somatics, if I will, is to say, just taking that time, which I was so glad you did, to relax on the floor a little bit and just getting a sense of, wow, I didn't even realize I was holding there. And just over time doing that can really help you begin the process of understanding and putting in your body that, and I'm not speaking from the top of the mountain, I'm down in the valley with you, by the way, is that, you know what, I really can go through my life and do what I need to do without tensing everything. And even if it's just 3 minutes a day, like, oh, I'm the same way. I realized when I drive, I'm like this. I'm driving like this. And I'm not even on the highway, right? And I'm like, wait a second. Like, can I drive? Drop the shoulders. Can I drive and relax? Can I stand and make dinner without clenching my tush? And I'm like this. I'm chopping the vegetables. I'm like this. Like all of a sudden I'll go, whoa, what are you doing? Can you do it? And relax. Because we can do the same movements. We can do the same things, relaxed or tight. We're still doing the same movement.
Yeah.
So maybe that can just help you. But again, that takes a lot of commitment to it and a lot of awareness and mindfulness with it. But you know what?
Yeah.
One step at a time, and I just honor you. I
Thank
hear
you.
that. It's really, again, I know I am not, I would not be up to that challenge. So good for you.
Thank you.
Myself.
That leads me, a good segue to my final question is, will you ever consider doing in-person like wellness workshops or retreats?
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I love doing wellness things like that. Of course, right now it's challenging. We'll have to see how that I understand, but I know what you're saying, how that transpires, and of course, the rest of our life isn't gonna be like it is now. Yeah, I would love to do that. And then it's always, where do we want to do it? It needs to be near an airport and easy to get to and reasonable and how long and all that stuff. But yes. And I would also love to co-partner with people that are doing it, that we can collaborate, right? And we could do movement maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe Gina would be willing to do that with us. That's something I want to talk to her about on Monday. Wouldn't that be cool? You guys, she is a wealth of information. So I'm so excited that she and I will be partnering. She's the lady that was here with us with the with all of the fascia and hydration information. Powerful.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I am going to go check on that 2-year-old, but thank you.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
Anything else? Did anybody leave me a message that I needed to check on? Because I don't want to have that. And then thank you, loved, beautiful. When the body says no, ooh, that sounds good. I'll have to check that one out. It's not what I have. Body keeps score. I have seen that one. That is a great one. I have that, I think.
I have a question, Renee.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do this on a live since it's getting late, on walking when you go side to side. And Teresa says, lead with the knee. Lead with the knee.
Oh, when you're doing this, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nancy. Okay, let me take this box down. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Were you not sure about what to do with that?
Well, I'm not sure I'm doing it right because.
Okay, so here's, this is my best way of explaining it. When I step out, first of all, let me drop my camera. When you step out, have your foot be parallel, and yours might be. I'm not saying it's not, I'm just showing you. Okay. So it's a step out. See how, let me drop back here. So my foot is parallel, step, step. So it's kind of like parallel, knee comes there and goes a little, need a little toe.
So am I doing it right then?
Yeah, you're doing it right. Think, Nancy, for you and me as well. I like to think about my heel out, heel out, heel. If you lead with the heel, look at that. Feels different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Heel out is actually also ankle activate. The biggest thing I find, you guys, on the walking workouts, the biggest thing I find with that technique, if you do nothing else, it's ribs up and don't lean forward. Keep the toes forward. Really, that's it. Because here's what everybody does with their walking, right? If you just kind of do that back, just about every other walking workout will be like, watch my hips. They'll do that where the shoulder comes forward, right? Because it feels like, yeah, we're doing it. This is really powerful. We're cinching it. You're not getting any activation down here at all. You can kind of see that. But if you go, okay, tailbone down, ribs are up, that's a whole other deal. Just feel it, right, you guys? If you do that, now let's see if I can do it the wrong way. That's opposite, right? And that, I mean, and yeah, you'll get some heart rate going on, but right, Teresa, it doesn't feel so good. But if you do this and really think tall, tail down, ribs are up, open, maybe another nice word, couple words that can help is open through the collarbones, tuck chin. And the other thing that I'll say too is elbows, yes. One last thing I'll just mention on this. So Jeanette, I want to show you something real quick because this will help you. Elbows bend 90 degrees. Okay, when you're going fast, you can use this for outside as well. Your power to bring yourself forward is behind you, pushing you forward, okay? So when you're going fast, you want to have a 90-degree butt, and you want to think elbows drive them back. Drive them back. So now you guys, you can see Nancy and Jeanette. Yeah, Teresa's doing it great. So here's the difference. You don't want to, that looks better, Jeanette. Here's what you don't want to do is, do you see what I'm doing? Opening the lower arm. This feels like you're doing the same thing, but it's not the same as this. So keeping the 90-degree angle, it goes back, hits the hip, comes forward just to the center, ideally. And if your shoulders are moving, you're working it. And now you might even feel the pivot point be right about your navel. So see, the hips do move. Not so much the hips, sorry. You're rotating a little bit at the shoulder. Yeah, doesn't that feel good? Toes forward. I like to just feel like my heels are going out to the side. That way, it's just a little better. You got it. Better, Jeanette. So keep thinking back, forward, back, back.
So that's the position we should be in with our poles too. Like that's what our arms should be doing with the poles.
You have extra striders?
Yes.
So it doesn't have a thing? Okay. So it's more plant, push.
Okay. I don't want to take your
It's more
time too
like
much.
here. Yeah, that's okay. It's almost like if you're shaking hands. You got it. And then you know when you pull back, so you come forward, and as you go back, the paw touches, and you push forward. The paw touches, and you push. So you're actually pulling yourself forward a little bit.
Yeah. It's just taking me a little time to get that coordination.
Yes, I know. But boy, they're great. I love
Yes.
my pulls. That looks good, Trace. You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, you guys. Well, this will be a long recording, huh? To see where it is. Well, it has been such a joy and an honor. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll get to play again. I love doing it live. Did you guys enjoy the live?
It was wonderful. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Oh, yeah.
If I do something else live, was the 12:30 time good? 8 o'clock is really late for me, which I hate for my West Coasters, but
Yeah,
is 12:30, did that work?
Please, very
Yeah.
doable.
12:30 is on a Saturday, but not during like a work week.
Yeah, I
And
get
8
that.
o'clock was awesome.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good to know for me. Thank you. All right, you guys, blessings. Go have a beautiful, beautiful day. We'll see you.
Bye.
Thank you, Renee.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.